Hey everyone. Previously, in the last two episodes, I talked about how to transform a raw format of this document shared by one of my friend, and he's presenting these things in a printable format. You can see it's A4 paper from top down, and very easy to see everything. You can see there's an internal hierarchy about we call this parent record. This will be the child record. Also, they have a report level heading over the top. So we talk about how to strip this down into pieces to cope with the data transformation. Especially we using the whole thing in the environment of Power Query, which can help us streamline the process, which means I just need to do this transformation once and for all the time. So whenever next time you download a report, you dump the file into this folder and it will help you to transform all the things that is necessary for your final analysis process. But here, in case it's a one-off project, it's not going to continue doing such a thing, then your investment in the Power Query, the initial setup, gonna be a waste. In that way, I provide an alternative solution for that, which is we're just gonna use Excel basic even formulas, just some copy paste to have this done quickly in about 10 minutes, I believe. And let's just get started. So all you need to do is just open this file. Once it's open, we can see everything is in just one cell, you can see. And all you need to do is just using the text column and the data pane, you have this text column. If we click that, normally we choose a delimiter to separate each column. But you can see the only thing seems like reasonable for me is the space. But we do know that there's a lot of space in between different columns. So you better have some other solutions. Fortunately, we have a fixed width in case your raw file is very neat in the format. We can see for the top section, the report layer information, we can actually just memorize them and copy them down. And for the title, we can easily replicate that. It's just a matter of this kind of detail from the parent to the child information, a little bit hard to extract. But I do know that everything has a space being occupied. For example, this one, if I choose fixed width, click next. If I select this column, I can tell that I have dismantled the header, the report layer information. But for the bottom, from the parents and also the child, it looks fine for me. You can see I can segregate them easily by just adding this line. And I do know that if I going down, I need another line over here. You can see everything has been properly been segregated, but there's some issue over this line. You can see there's some misalignment over that. We're going to come to that later. Let's just have a look. The bottom. Okay, I probably don't add this line because I'm not sure what's going to happen. So I think those information and this are together. And at the last, I have this column. If I just click a line before the 14, the number 14, if I going down to have a look, everything has aligned properly. Then I can click next and keep everything intact, because here it's telling you it will help you generate the data format for each column. You can just leave it and then finish. Once you finish, you can see our report layer information has been scattered. The header has been broken down into several pieces. Looks like this one reference number and all the number that has been in two places. If we shrink this down and make everything just out width, we can have a look of the data saying from here, this is the children information, parent information. What we need to do is actually help us tell this part of information is from this parent, right? Because for the report level information, we can easily replicate that. Say 1, 2, 3. Because I know for all the cells, they actually carry the same amount of information. For example, that's the report date. That's going to be the report, the second information of the report layer, third information. So I can easily have that information. Say we can do concat. Concat can be this one to here. We break it back. So that's the first information we have. And we can copy this down. So we have re-engineered the information of the report layer. So all you need to do is you probably just gonna be from this part, you can just transpose, but we need to do a value. So value transpose, click OK. So if I click here, now we have this information. all you need to do is just double click. So you can see this has been expanded to the very bottom. So we have finished the report layer information transformation. Now we're working on how to make the parent information to be aligned with the row of the children information. So first we need to figure out how to find those things. So I will add a filter over here. How do I pick those kind of child information first? Because I know whenever there's a child information, there's no parent reference. So I can take this. I can just say blank. Now, if I look it down, looks like everything has been done correctly, but there's something I need to clear before that. There's some bottom rows that I don't need. For example, I know this is the report layer. I don't need that. So you can just safely delete them. Then we go into the top. And then we quickly filter out those kind of child information. So I know this is child information. So I can just have them selected. Once they're selected, then I'm going to release this filter. Okay, let's just select this one, make this selection easier. Yeah, if we keep going until we reach to the far end. So the way I do this, just hold Control and keep releasing, and also use the scroll to up and down to have them selected. Once it's selected, you press Control plus. All you need to do is moving this to actually after this state column, because I want those kind of parent information to be able to copy down. So I need to shift this whole to the right. You can click once. Once this has been done, you can see you already have a placeholder for the parent information. Then I'm going to select the whole parent information. Now I'm going to make a selection of the special, Control G, going to the blanks. Once I have this, you can see there's something is not aligned. So I don't need this two column. I can just click delete them and make that selection again. Make sure it's every area, and then Control G, go to special, select the blank. Now the blank has been selected. I just simply write an equal sign to the cell D9. Then Control Enter. Now my information has been filled down. Once this has been done, I want to lock the content. I want just copy and right click, paste value. Now I have locked down the information, so there's no formula. Now I have carried the information from the parents to the bottom to align with the child information. And then I just release the filter and the filter again, because this time, okay, wait a second. Looks like we have some blank cell over here, but that's fine. You can see there's a blank cell. I just delete them. So Control Shift L, you have this filter added. All I need to do is remove those title of those ones because they are blank. You see that? Because that's a placeholder originally. So I deselect this, select the blanks. I know this is all title. Or the parent level information, I can just delete rows and release this filter again. I can delete this one as well. Okay, now I'm starting to write the thing that makes sense to me, which is the report date. Report, let's just say supplier, report customer. I know this is going to be the DKT. Let's just say parent. So we know the hierarchy of the information, parent DKT, parent, probably this is reference number, parent, reference number, parent, order number, parent, receiver, and the parent date 1, parent date 1, parent date 2. For this one, I know is a child DKT, child product, and the child description, and the child quantity, child unit. Okay. Now we have transferred all the information down to that, so I don't need the top section. I can just delete them. Now, if I look at this information, I have this header ready. If I simply format this, this is fine. The date, I need to Control 1 to format them as a date and click OK. And if I check the whole thing, looks very neat. Let's just have a random check. Insert a pivot table to profiling your data. You can see we have 3 layers: report layer information, date, supplier, customer; parent layer information, reference number, order number, receiver, date 1 and 2. And also child information is about the DKT, product description, quantity, and unit. If we drag anything in that, we know that's for that day. There's another treatment we need to do for this part. That's pretty easy. We can just use the flash fill to have it done correctly, because I know there are two parts of this information. First is the date. Second is the time. So if I type 45121, and then you can use Control E, Control U will help you. Actually, that's the called flash fill. We're actually accepting the suggestions. That's all good. So for this one, I'm going to just copy this part and paste over here. For this part, I'm going to do the same thing, but I know they're the same, right? So you can just fill this one and double click. So I know this data type is a time, and I can do that. And this part I know is a date. If I put a date, and that's the date. So once this has been done, I don't need this column. I can call report date, and I can say report date and time. So report date, this report time. Okay. Now we have this. If we have refreshed this one, now we have date, report date and time. Report date is this one I will put in the filter. If you look at a supplier, that's our supplier. And if we supply just here, we have parent receiver, and then what kind of product, let's put under the receiver, what's the quantity. Everything has been aligned together with proper formatting and also proper layer of the hierarchies. So that's pretty much for today. So let's just recap. Today we have gone through a very manual way to transform the information from a pretty raw format to this tabular format by just using the Excel internal, for example, formulas, or say transpose column to text to column features. So all just using those basic tricks and filters in and out to help you transform the data into a consumable stage. But more importantly, the concept about this practice is identify the structure of the data or the raw information. If there are 3 layers in your information, you have to think about them logically, because report layer information is actually describe every line item in this document, right? And the parent layer information is only going to talking about a limit rows of data, where the children record information is actually the lowest point you can get from the data point. So if you got those hierarchy concept in your mind, your workflow going to be pretty easy no matter what kind of method you are taking, either Power Query or the Excel basic function like I just showed you guys today. So hope you guys enjoy, and see you guys in the next one.